Okay, good evening. Thank you for joining us to discuss the upcoming new elementary school prototype. We will be opening the floor up for feedback after a brief presentation tonight on the background of this project. A few housekeeping notes about how this meeting will work. Attendees are automatically muted with cameras off. Please use the Q&A tool to share your input when we get to the questions at the end. You can send the feedback at any time during the meeting. But they won't be read until the end. The chat is available as a backup if you can't get your Q&A tool to work, or if you're on your phone and you can't find it. But I'll be checking the chat a little bit less regularly. If you prefer, you can respond to the survey directly, and I am going to drop that into the chat, the link into the chat as soon as I'm done giving some introductions here. If you could please advance the slide, Dave. Thank you. We have online today a variety of panelists who can contribute to the discussion if needed. I'll be introducing them shortly. If you do have any technical issues tonight with WebEx, you can reach their support team at 1-866-229-3239. I'm just reading that in case you can't see the chat. And their extension is 2 and then 1. I'm also going to add that number into the chat. And I am dropping the SurveyMonkey link in now. Okay, and before we get into the presentation, I am going to hand things over. Just one more thing. This meeting is being recorded. It will be posted on the OCPS Facilities Communications YouTube page on Tuesday. The presentation slides are actually already available. They're posted at facilities.ocps.net under Community Meeting Presentations. And next week, they will go up as a link on school board member pages at ocps.net. And we'll also add the link to the YouTube at that point. Before we get started on the presentation, let's turn to your OCPS School Board Chair, Teresa Jacobs, for some opening remarks.
Lauren, thank you. And to everyone who has joined us, thank you for giving us your time this evening. I wanted to take just a minute to welcome you and to let you know how important it is to us to hear from you as we are looking at a new prototype for our elementary schools. These will be the next couple of schools that we'll build and perhaps for the next several years. So it's a really important decision. We'll be looking for feedback towards the end of the meeting, but we, again, appreciate your time, your interest, and we look forward to having your students in our new schools.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair Jacobs. So we are also joined today by a few other board members representing different parts of the county. Sorry, that would be different if we had different parts of the country on. We have Vicki Elaine Felder from District 5, and let me see if Melissa was able to get on. I know we had a couple other board members who were going to try to get on, but had some technical difficulties. Board Member Felder, is there anything you wanted to say about the prototype or this process? And if you want to chime in later, feel free.
Hear me?
Yep,
Can you hear me
now
now?
we can hear
Yes.
you.
Well, I want to again welcome everybody to this presentation. It's always fun to see new elementary schools because that lets us know that the district is alive and well when we're building new elementary schools. So I'm hoping those of you that are tuned in that you will certainly take a part and ask whatever questions that you may have. I am representing District 5 where the talent resides. However, I want you, if you're in other districts, you have questions, please feel free to ask the questions and come into the chat. And again, I'd like to thank Facilities for making this possible that we can see this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Board Member Felder. So as she said, this prototype is going to be used for all new elementary schools built in 2024 or later. One of those projects, a school that's known for now as Site 47EW4, is the first to officially begin design. The construction manager and civil and traffic engineer for that particular project may also be joining us today. We are also joined by several area superintendents, leaders from several OCPS learning communities, including the home district of Site 47, which is Area Superintendent William Bond. I've also invited on several principals of schools that may be relieved by some of these new elementary schools because they will end up being very important to their community in the next few years. So if you see them up on your panelist list, that's why they're there. So the architect for this new project is Schenkel Schultz Architects. We have representing Schenkel Schultz, Dave Torbert, and Patrick Rao. The construction manager on this project is Wellbro, and Jeff Carter's representing them. The civil engineer on this project is Avcon, and I think Rick Baldacchi and Clint Pletzer were going to try to hop on, though I have not seen them yet. The project manager on this project is Tamara Cox, and what she does is she brings together the architect, the construction manager, and OCPS. I'm actually going to pause here because I see Dr. Castor-Dental was able to hop on. Dr. Castor-Dental, do you know if you have audio? Because I'm showing you as muted, because if you would like to say anything, you are welcome to. Okay, let me try. Let me see if I can unmute you. Dr. Castor-Dental, can you hear us?
I can hear you now, yes.
Great. Okay, I've been able to get your audio on. Is there anything that you wanted to say to the group? We just got started and we're just doing introductions.
Hi there. I just wanted to share my thoughts about what I shared with you earlier, Lauren. Is this a good time to do that?
So if it's okay with you, we were going to do the feedback after the presentation. Why don't I just call on you first when we get to that section? Should we do that?
That's fine. No. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Absolutely. We will do that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And
I'll go back to mute.
Oh, yes. There we go. And the acting chief facilities officer, Rory Salenbean, and my boss as well. He is on the line and is up on the panelist group. And let me just see if a couple of the other folks from other departments came on because, oh yes, Mo Arthur, who heads up our design team, is also on the line. So these are folks who, might be able to answer potential questions. But really, we want to hear from you about what you're looking for in a new elementary school today. That's the really most important part of this meeting today. So Dave, if you don't mind going ahead one slide, I'll explain about that. So OCPS currently has 4 prototype elementary schools. Everyone on this call has probably seen at least one school that looks like one of these in their travels around the county. What a prototype is a basic design for a school that can be reused with small modifications on a variety of different sites. The idea is to save the district both money and time from having to get a completely new design every time we build a school, which you'll see happen in some smaller districts. The school board has hired Schenkel Schultz Architects to create the elementary prototype of the future, which will be completely new and different from anything OCPS has ever had before. That's where you come in. After a brief presentation, we want to hear from you about what this new design should look like, and we will prompt you with some specific questions. So before that, I'm going to turn things over to Dave Torbert with Schenkel Schultz, and I have dropped the SurveyMonkey link into the chat. So if you don't have time to attend the rest of the meeting and you want to respond right now, you can go to the SurveyMonkey link in the chat. All right. Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lauren. I was asked to talk a little bit about our experience, and so you can kind of see that really highly summarized on this slide. We're a firm that does a lot of educational design. You can see we've designed a lot of elementary schools. We have a lot of experience working with OCPS and having designed elementary schools in the past for OCPS. But really the exciting thing for us is that this project represents one of those rare opportunities we get with OCPS to create a brand new prototype design. Not a rehash of a previous design, but a brand new, uniquely OCPS design. So we're really excited about this project and the opportunity. So what I want to do before we get into getting input is to give you really a kind of a high-level overview of at least the 3 initial projects that are involved in this. And you can kind of see those here on this map that we've got on the screen. You can see the 3 sites are highlighted here by the 3 red dots that we have. You can see the site 47 is way over on the west side of the county, almost to the Lake County line out in the Horizons West area. And the site 97 and the site 130 sites are more on the eastern side kind of in the Lake Nona Innovation Way area of the county. So if we zoom in a little bit closer to kind of give you a little better idea of exactly where the sites are, starting on the west side of the county, the Site 47 site, you can see highlighted here with the red dot, is right in the middle of a community that is being developed and built as we speak. You can see surrounding that to the south are the Water Spring Middle School, which is under construction right now, as well as the Water Spring Elementary School, which opened a couple of years ago. As well as to the east of that, the new Panther Lake Elementary School that's going to open this year, and also the new Horizon High School that opened last year. So a very growing area, you can see by just the sheer number of schools and how recently, but Site 47 is going to be the newest addition to the schools in this area. So if we go to the other side of the county, to the Site 97 site, it's going to be located right adjacent to, on the same, essentially the same piece of property as Innovation Middle School, which opened in 2017. And you can kind of see the area here. Again, another growing area of the county, and so hence the need for new schools. And then the last but not least site is the Site 130. Again, down in that Lake Nona area, you can see very close to the Osceola County line. Again, you can see a lot of schools that have recently been opened in this area, represented by all the blue dots that you see on the screen. And kind of the unique thing about this particular school is it is also co-located with a middle school, the Site 129 Middle School, which is also under design right now and will be opening the same time as this new elementary school. So that kind of gives you a high level overview of kind of where these, at least these initial 3 sites are going to be located. In terms of the overall process for our schedule for these 3 particular projects, you can see on this bar chart schedule that we're literally at the very beginning of the process here in June of 2022. We have almost a year's worth of design, permitting, and bidding to go. There's going to be a lot more community engagement as we go through the rest of the design process. And then that will be followed by about 12 months of construction, followed by a move-in period for OCPS. And the target is for all 3 of these schools to open in August of 2024. So that's kind of an overview of where we're at in the process. In terms of what these schools will include, you can see that listed here. All of the elements that are here on the screen are elements that you would expect to see: classrooms, skills labs, music rooms, media centers, as well as the outdoor things like physical education amenities, car and bus drop-offs, safety and security. Previous OCPS schools have really focused on having a single secure entry point to enhance that safety and security, and I think it's safe to say that that's going to be an element that's going to be retained in this newer design. Certainly, the latest in educational technology is going to be built in. And then certainly, OCPS is always focused on creating sustainable buildings in everything they do. And again, to reiterate what Lauren said earlier, this new design will be for all new elementary schools that will open in 2024 and beyond. In terms of sustainability, you can see some of the things here that OCPS consistently incorporates into their designs, and again, things that will be incorporated into this new design. And actually, as a part of what OCPS has asked us to do with this new design is actually to study energy efficiency and sustainability, high performance building criteria even more closely, to see if we can't come up with ways to make the building even more sustainable and more energy efficient as we go through the design process. It's something that OCPS is very committed to, not just being good stewards of the planet, but also being good stewards of the taxpayers' money in terms of creating very efficient buildings to own and to operate as they build their program. So now we're at the part of the presentation where what we're really here to do tonight, which is to get your input and feedback and as to what really needs to go in this elementary school. But before we jump into that, I know Lauren wants to kind of go over, make sure everybody has a clear understanding of how to give us that input.
Okay, so this slide is just for folks who might have hopped on a little bit late. This would be the time if you could try to find your Q&A tool. You might have like a little caret or a little button, or it just might say Q&A. And if you don't see it, you should have a little circle with 3 dots that you can open up and get to your Q&A. Now, this is really more of an input session, so you certainly don't have to put them in the form of a question. And if you can't find your Q&A, you can put something in the chat too. So right on the next slide, I'm going to have Dave introduce, the first question here, and I'll have him read it, give you a little time to start to get your thoughts typed in, and then I'm going to go to Dr. Castrodental to talk about something that she wanted to talk about with the design. So Dave, do you mind reading this question off?
Yeah, so as Lauren said, we've set up a survey monkey online. You can see the URL here. There's a QR code on this slide that if you scan that, that'll take you straight to the survey as well. And so, if you don't want to give your input tonight, you can certainly go online and do this because we really do want to get your input. But the first question is, what is the most important feature or features that this new elementary school design should have? Whether it's things inside the building that are a part of the building or things outside the building, we really want to get some input from you all about what are those most important features that you think comprise that next generation of elementary school for Orange County.
Okay, thank you, Dave. And we do have some principals who are both on the attendee side and principals who are on the panelist side. So, if you're on the panel and there's something that you wanted to share, you can certainly feel free to just, unmute yourself if you had something you wanted to say. So let's start with board member Castrodental.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for opening up this discussion. I mentioned to Lauren last week just about thinking about safety in our schools and active shooter drills. And that's where you have the windows in the classroom doors. A lot of times teachers will have to act to move the whole class out of sight of the door of the window. And I wondered if there was a way to construct the doors so that they could still have a window from the hallway without having to move the whole class to a corner or a safe zone. If the classroom could already be a safe zone because of the way that the window is facing or is not exposing the whole class. So that was just one concern I had.
Okay, do you want to address them? Do you want us to address them
Yeah.
one at a time or? Okay, so on the first one, I know that design is, as you know, a very important component of the design, and that not everything will be discussed in public that is done. But the schools do have safe corners now, and I did want to defer to Rory if you wanted to speak any more to this issue since he's the chief. Rory, is there anything more you want to add on safety?
Well, no, I mean, other than the fact that obviously one of the reasons why we're looking at a new prototype is to see if we can, take some of the lessons learned and incorporate them in the school for security. And I appreciate Member Castellanos' comment, and certainly that's something that we'll task the design team with looking at as they go through the design for the new school.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Castellano, you had another one?
Yes. I am really happy to hear about the energy efficiencies that you're looking to incorporate. And I don't know if you participate in the U.S. Green Building Council or are aware of all of the, okay.
Dave's nodding.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, for what it's worth, our firm designed the very first LEED certified building in the state.
Excellent.
About 15 years ago.
Excellent. Well, we are always looking for funds, and a lot of those operating expenses are that we have that could also go towards our teacher salaries. We are always trying to minimize our costs. So any way that you can really find those efficiencies is helpful. As far I'm just bringing up some things as a former teacher. I was in a classroom once without windows. I know that it was not nice. It was not a nice environment to be in. And I know that windows create a kind of a safety issue as well. But I wonder if there is another way that we can make sure that all the classrooms also have sunlight, even if the windows are up high, or skylights. Just something that we haven't always had in all of our classrooms. And then I know an issue that has come up that we're trying to deal with in our buildings is the use of single gender bathrooms. I know we usually have gang bathrooms, but I wonder if we can have single gender or gender-free bathrooms located in areas that are going to be convenient for students and teachers, where they don't have to necessarily go down to the library to find that one bathroom to use, but that they can be used throughout, as seen as kind of a normal access throughout the building.
Okay, great. And do keep them coming. So let me grab a few from online, and, Mo or Rory or whatever. If you want to jump in on any of these, that's fine. I was just going to kind of go ahead and kind of read ideas, but, if any of the panelists want to jump in and talk about these things, that's totally fine too. So let's see. This one says, I would love to see a fully fenced campus that's only accessible during carpool hours for safety for our children. This is something that I imagine the school security would need to buzz people in during hours that are not drop off or pick up. Okay. We have outdoor classroom spaces. That's a suggestion. So thank you for that. That's something that we've really been emphasizing for the older kids. So, and I know a lot of schools have been, kind of building their own. Another confirmation, yes, natural light and natural daylighting is something that we currently emphasize now. So that would be something that we'd want to continue to emphasize, but of course, balance with safety. So absolutely. Okay, and we have a few. Oh, okay. So one thing right now, I did want to mention that Site 130, which we showed as opening in 2024, is currently on the 10-year plan that we have for building as 2025. We just might be making changes to that schedule but there will be a new one that the board will be looking at that'll be adopted in late September. But right now it's on the calendar for 2025. So wanted to share that, okay, so this comes from Area Superintendent Bond. He said, in looking at the design, it's important to develop 21st century learning skills. That's essential to prepare our students for the 21st century. Some examples of those skills include communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. And he said, in terms of reflecting that in design, key elements are flexibility of furniture, areas for collaborative learning and independent study, and light and bright colors. That's awesome. Thank you for being really concrete about it. From Area Superintendent Larson, we do need, windows for safety also. And he was asking, can we make windows narrow? So, that would be something to look at kind of on a safety, on a safety side. So that's something we'll definitely be looking at. Okay. Okay, I think I caught the comments we have so far. Does anyone else want to comment on this particular question on the most important feature? There are two other questions.
Well, let me just comment on a couple of things that we heard.
Okay.
One is on bathrooms, specifically to member Catherine comment. Being an elementary school, I'm anticipating that we'll have single bathrooms in every classroom, like we currently do, and so that mitigates the issue, I think, for students certainly, because they'll have. Again, it's a one person bathroom, and then so well, obviously there are other issues that we'll need to consider, and we'll take that comment as far as the staff is concerned. And then the other, I want to talk about security because I saw a comment in the Q&A, and just to let people know that all of our campuses at this point have a completely fenced in area where students are during the day and a single point of entry. So I wanted to just make sure that everyone was aware that we have fenced in the area where kids in, and there is a single point of entry. Spaces out in front of the school that kids aren't using during the day, for example, typically aren't fenced. Parking areas typically aren't fenced. But once the children get in, the students get inside the school, they are in a secure area that's fenced in completely and has a single access point that is controlled.
Okay, now we have had a couple more comments come in, but here's what I'm going to do. Dave, if you don't mind going to the next slide so that people can start contemplating the next. Yeah, and if you could introduce this, and then I'm going to go back and read the last couple from the previous question.
Okay. Well, so, we talked earlier, Lauren touched on earlier that, there are 4 elementary school prototypes that the district's been doing for a while. Our assumption is that many or most of you all have had some experience with either some of those buildings or other elementary schools in the district, or even if you're new to the community, that you are familiar with an elementary school building, an elementary school that you know best, for example. And so what we'd like to know is, what are some of the best things about that elementary school that you've previously experienced that you think should be retained going forward into a new design? So that, we're interested in what those kinds of ideas or those kinds of items might be.
And before we open the floor on that one, let me just read the last couple comments that came in on that first question about the most important feature. And kind of an interesting thing happened in the comments. We kind of have a distinction forming between interior windows and exterior windows. So there's a comment about the exterior windows that that this individual has seen some horizontal windows that are high up, that it does take the window further away from the ground, but it also limits sunlight. And he was saying it's just not very pleasing and doesn't produce enough sunlight. And then Dr. Larson commented on, windows indoors. If we are going to have windows indoors, make it so that if that window is broken, that that a hand couldn't reach the handle. So, a safety thing. And then Area Superintendent Bond also mentioned designing with technology in mind, having adaptable spaces, extended learning areas, accommodating furniture, and adequate electrical charging stations. All very good points. And I did want to mention that all of this stuff that's going into the chat and Q&A does become like part of our record. And so the design team will have it to look at, even if I don't read, every single word that you say. So I just did want to share that. All right, and we have gotten a first comment on the second question. Okay, so it says the future of education is leaning more toward a distance education environment. It's critical that we introduce and expose our young learners to a blended learning methodology. This needs to be included as we design classrooms for the next 20 plus years. Because these schools will be in use for a really long time.
That's true. Can I make a comment?
Yeah, go for it.
One of the buildings that I really enjoy is the Audubon Park, even though it's a K-8. An element that I like is the library on the first floor, and it's got lots of different areas that you can break off into, but I like where it is set within the school. There's big windows, you can see out, you can see kids going and working in like the garden and then the different plots, and it's nice to look out and see the green, instead of just more classrooms.
to have kind of a view of the outdoors.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. So we've gotten a question that I need a little clarification on. There's a question involving, it might be site 47, about how the building will be on the site. So here, I mean, the first thing I can tell you, even without knowing which site it is that this is the first meeting in a process. This is the 10% design point. We normally actually don't even have meetings this early in the process, but because this is unique and it's the first time we're building a new elementary prototype in a number of years, we're coming out to talk about that. For each of the individual projects that we mentioned, site 47, site 97, and then after that, site 130, we will be having meetings specifically with those communities, either on WebEx or at a nearby school, to talk about those sites. We wouldn't be able to answer your question today because there is no site plan yet for any of those three projects showing where on the campus the school will be sited. Though we don't put them we don't put them right up against houses, I can tell you that. But if you received a mailer for today's meeting, that means you live close to one of these three schools and you will receive a specific invitation for the 30% design meeting for that school. And then after that, there will be another meeting at the completion of design before construction kicks off. We call that one the 100% design construction kickoff. And then there's another meeting partway through construction. And then we hold a sneak peek. And then we actually have a dedication after they open. So even without knowing which school site it is, we will have more information for you at the 30% meeting. But I will also share my email address into the chat before this meeting ends if there's something specific you wanted to follow up with ahead of that. All right, and that's, oh, wait, I think something just came in. Okay, comment, I would love to see the bathrooms in the individual classrooms continue. As a parent and also substitute teacher in the county, having kids not leave the classroom for the bathroom is very reassuring. Our current school only has bathrooms in K1. Maybe this is a Mo question, but what grade levels do we have the individual bathrooms in now? I'm not sure if that's anything that's changing, but I thought that might be useful information. Yeah.
Currently, we have the restrooms in the primary classroom, so those are the lower grades up to the third graders, and then the older intermediate classrooms, fourth and fifth, those are also single restrooms, but those are typically off the corridor immediately outside of the classrooms.
Yep, okay, that's what the comment was on that one, on the bathroom. All right, is there anything else that anyone wants to share about the best things about the elementary school building? And if you don't like the time pressure of having to answer it right now, please do grab the SurveyMonkey link. Please share it with other folks and let us know what you're thinking.
Want to move on to the next question, Warren?
Yes, go ahead. Just one person, go ahead and move to that next one. And there is one more comment on that they like the bathrooms in the classroom too.
Okay. Well, so the next question, the last question, is sort of the opposite of the previous question. And this is really about kind of lessons learned. So what are some things about the elementary school that schools that you may know best? What are some of the things that could be improved, made better?
Okay, so again, you can put, the school are perfect. Like, let's keep those. Okay.
Actually, Lauren, I have a question. I just saw a comment come up in the chat that says all common areas in the front of the school is perfect. Could that person elaborate on why what is good about that? Is it the access for the community for after hours? Is there some other feature?
What do you like about the common areas? So that was from David. So David, if you could tell us more about what you like about those common areas, that would be really helpful. Okay. Okay, a couple things. I see David responded. Can you read his response, Dave?
Yeah, well, his first comment was all common areas in the front of the school is perfect. And then his response to the elaboration is security reasons, easy access for parents. So,
Thank
okay.
you. And yes, and okay, here's a criticism, a do not like. The carpool lane and the lack of pre-planning for growth. Okay, I want to get back to that. We currently have grades 4 to 5 in portables, which I don't love. The carpool lane is an absolute nightmare at our school. Okay, so that was from Sierra. If you don't mind elaborating on what the issue is with the carpool lane. But I did just want to share that OCPS does have a very extensive planning process, and that we can't open a new school until there are enough students to attend it. Sometimes that comes from multiple schools, or sometimes it's, a single school, depending on where the school is located. But I would just ask that that be something that is thought about, because OCPS is trying to be a really good steward of taxpayer dollars. And there's been a conscious decision not to open schools that would be largely empty. They need to be large enough to, support having staff, having a principal, having electives. So that is part of it. So that does require some growing pains.
I would like to say something.
Yes.
I was trying to find a thing you can raise your hand.
Oh, sorry, Board Member Felder. You can
That's
just go right
okay.
ahead.
With what board member Casadena was talking about with regards to the restrooms, I am glad that they do have the restrooms inside the classrooms K through 3. I do have concerns since lately we've had people attacking our schools, and I do have some concerns with 4th and 5th graders having to use the bathroom outside of the classroom, in terms of the protection. I'm also, as we get these prototypes and renovate or get these new elementary schools, are the other elementary schools that are still standing, are they going to have the same kind of renovation, the same sort of design in terms of the access, if they have better media center assess media center media center opportunities, if they're going to have more technology there, where the other elementary schools have the same thing. I know you're not going to rebuild all in elementary schools, but I'm just hoping that as you build these newer elementary schools, will all the elementary schools still stand and have the same experience?
Right, I hear you. So we have put the same technology out through the entire district, and schools are brought up to the design guidelines when OCPS makes a change in how a building is designed and it's formalized in the design guidelines. Rory, did you want to comment on it? Because I know it can be different depending on what the item is, because you're correct. We don't necessarily, go back and change the size of a media center, but we have been renovating all our existing schools, and we've actually touched almost all of our schools in the past 20 years to make improvements.
Yeah, I've talked with Rory earlier today, and I'm really excited about some of the things that facilities they're doing with the schools in the district. And I know that the timeline, I understand that you all plan in 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 years out, that you're gonna have to come in and renovate and change and make some things work. I'm so glad you're getting rid of portables. I never liked portables, but I know it's a necessary evil if you don't have enough space. You have to, be able to house the children. But I'm just sort of reiterating some of the things that Member Casadena said about the safety. I never thought that I would be so concerned about safety in schools like I am now because of what has happened to our children in our schools across this country. And for what I can see, for the most part, Orange County, our schools are spread out in different things, but I think that our security is a lot different. And we don't do doors open and all that kind of stuff. And we've not ever done that. putting sticks in the door, like that's a common thing we do. But certainly, children are left vulnerable. And I'm noticing even on the playground, when the kids go out to play, like at Ace, I mean, it's all fenced in. I mean, and if somebody tries to come in, you can readily see, them doing that. But my concern is that as we get this new technology and new innovative materials in these new elementary schools, I want it to be across the board.
That absolutely makes sense. Okay. We do have a number of things that have come in on the chat and Q&A while we've been talking, so I do want to make sure to address them. So let me go through some of those, and then if any of the panelists want to jump in on addressing some of these things, let me know. Okay. So the gentleman who was asking about the new school in Waterley, he was asking, again, where the school will be on the site, and if there could be a focus on keeping the flow of cars and the public as close as possible to the entrance street. Okay, so yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And I would encourage you to please come back when we do the 30% design presentation. I think there will be a lot of interest to you because that's the one where you see where the building is going to be on the site and how the parking lots and the driveways are laid out. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. The comment and improvement would be to make sure all classrooms are the same size, no crazy shapes or walls in odd locations. That's very good feedback. Okay. It would be nice if the room lighting works front to back rather than one side of the room. It would help with seeing the smartboard. Yes. Oh, wow. Very clever. Okay. And I've seen some come into the chat. And by the way, other panelists, sometimes people are going to message you directly, which I cannot see. So if you get any, I'm going to read some comments that have come into the chat. But when I'm done with these, if there are some that you've seen that I have not read, I may not be able to see them. So I'll ask you to chime in at that point. Okay. Bathrooms. Yep, we talked about that. Right. The common rooms we talked about. Okay. Okay, so Area Superintendent Bond said that in a couple of the newest elementary schools built in his area, such as Village Park and Vista Point, the media center design promotes opportunities for student collaboration and problem solving. Please keep. So that's a model to look at from some of our new schools on something that works. Okay, now so the person who was commenting on the carpool lane at the school she's familiar with says the carpool lane blocks all access to the parking lot, and it's a safety issue because an emergency vehicle can't get through. Okay, and the specific example is Sun Blaze Elementary School. Okay, thank you. Area Superintendent Larson says he'd like us to do some safety research on mass shootings at the elementary versus the secondary level, and kind of to look at patterns. And he did say that it's important when building elementary schools that we limit access as much as possible. And he likes that when he parks at a building, he can't get in during the school day. He thinks that's a good thing, that it's, that it's that secure. Okay, another comment. Okay, so I think this is a school employee, or maybe, yeah, I think so. Okay. She says, at my place of employment, the building is facing the street and parents cannot find the front office even with signage. Most schools face their parking lots. I know for security reasons, we try not to have classrooms facing busy roads, but it is a difficult thing to have parents and delivery people confused on where the front office is. Yeah, that's a design issue. Thank you for sharing. Okay, and just the person who mentioned fencing earlier is reiterating it. Saying that she thinks people just should not have access to any parts of the campus, I guess including the parking lots, I think what she is saying, to maybe discourage bad behavior. She said at her current school, the single point of entry doesn't necessarily work. I feel like if someone is able to gain access to the office, the rest of the school is vulnerable. Okay, so she's suggesting like an extra level of barrier. Okay, got it. Now, panelists, is there anything you can see or questions or comments that have come to you that I have not read aloud? Okay, so
And
taking a,
Lauren, this is Tamara. I do see an additional comment in there in regards to site lighting.
okay, great. I
Um,
can't see that one.
Yeah, it does mention, I think this is in the Water Spring Elementary School area, because it's in a residential area. They are concerned about the light bleeding over to the residents. And I
Okay.
will just add on to that, that's one of the items that's a part of our design guidelines, is to ensure that we provide light shields on all of our exterior lighting to combat any exposure to the residents.
Okay, thank you. And I've actually see a couple more that just came in. Um,
Well,
what,
yeah, Tamara, I would add to that is that, you know, part of what our task is and our requirements are is that we will do a photometric analysis of the entire site. And part of the requirements we have to meet is we have to meet the county lighting ordinance, you know, to make sure that all the light stays on our property. So that's one of the requirements that we, the design team, have to achieve in what we design.
okay, thanks, Dave. And we do have a question about security, and you know, how you prevent something like what happened with, you know, Uvalde, which I may be saying wrong, I apologize. We weren't able to get somebody from our district police on tonight. Hopefully for our 30% design, we can get a representative because I prefer they answer those sorts of questions. Rory, is there anything you wanted to say specifically to that question? Because I know we can't really go into a ton of detail.
No, I mean, I just want to, you know, reiterate again that security is a huge focus for us, and that we are, in fact, our district police folks have talked to folks in Texas, and so they're working on the lessons learned there, and so I mean that'll be a big consideration of how we do make this secure, and our district police will definitely be involved in that.
Okay, thank you. Dave, can you for a moment jump back to that slide early on that showed the 3 sites that are opening in 24 or 25? So there was just a question of like which one is which. So there is, you know, a comment concerned about lighting at night for 47. Okay, and mentioning that houses are on 2 sides. So here, these are the site reference numbers. So the one in Horizon West is 47 EW4, and the one that's down near the Osceola County border next to the middle school we're building is 130 ESE2. And out in kind of that Story Grove area, we've got 97 ESE2. And there will be more detail. So I think kind of the key part from what I was saying about that before was that this is really more of a visioning to try to get ideas. And once we have a feel for where the schools are going to go on the sites, we are going to have meetings specifically with each of your communities, if you live in one of those 3 areas, to address your specific site so that it won't have to be discussed with the others. Okay, and I see a couple things have come into the chat. So
Lauren, can I share some thoughts real quick?
Absolutely, go ahead.
About the bathrooms, I've taught in classrooms where the bathroom was inside the classroom, as well as ones that were right outside. And the ones that were right outside were problematic.
Like right outside the classroom door?
Yes. Students can easily go to the bathroom, and then they don't have to stay there, and they can
get lost.
Yeah. So
lost students.
yeah, lost there on purpose. So I found it much less distracting if it's within the doors, the access is in the classroom. And then just another thing that I have a problem with is driving up to a school and seeing a beautiful facility or building, but then the parking lot's all right there in front of the building. Is there
Gotcha.
a
So
way to
kind of greeted by a parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's some parking spaces, of course, along the front, but instead of having the huge parking lot up front, it kind of is a visual block to a beautiful new building.
Gotcha. No, absolutely. Like kind of having the school facing the street and kind of fronting the street. And then of course there's the balance with the comment we got from one of the residents of the neighborhood saying, you know, can you keep as much of the parking and driveways as close to the street as possible? So that's something the design team will have to see how they can balance out, because absolutely those are both valid comments. Yeah, Dr. Castellano, was there anything else? I don't want to cut you off.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Larson mentioned that there are schools in his learning community that don't have overhead awnings covering from the parking lot all the way to the front office. So that is a do not like. Couple more in. Okay, I would like to say that the school design should include how students will walk, bike, or roll to the campus. They absolutely do on our property. And then in the later presentations, we will show how those connect with the network in the neighborhood. We do certainly work with our municipal partners about getting sidewalks if they're not there. Okay, so continuing on that comment, keeping cars and vehicle traffic away from where students will need to cross. If they're designed in neighborhoods, let's not make cars and traffic the priority. We should be designing for ease of walkability and safety for those who walk, bike, or roll. And I think that kind of lines up with what Dr. Castellano was saying for having the front of the school presenting. On another topic, shade for outdoor spaces should be part of the plan, not an afterthought or schools needing to fundraise for shade structures. Plan for the opportunity for shared use agreements for the outdoor space, playgrounds, and track with the community it lives in. I realize this is a challenge with liability, but encourages communities to be active and use green space outside of school hours, especially on weekends and summers. Okay, and I do want to mention that even 5 years ago, we weren't automatically building shade structures on the tot lots, which is the playgrounds for the younger kids. That is automatically done now for at least the tot lots. So that's something relatively new. And we did go back kind of to board member Felder's point, we did go back and do that at all the rest of the schools as well. There's a question, why do we place portables close to roads? And this person's referring to Andover Elementary specifically. Okay, I know that's not always done. I think we need to look at the specific situation. It sometimes depends where the utilities are and what kind of space that campus has, but that's something we could look at specifically for that one school. And for those who do need to leave, feel free, if you would like to, fill out that Survey Monkey, you are welcome to. Another comment about the bathrooms for the 4th and 5th graders, saying that if they are outside the classroom, it provides more of the opportunity for the bathrooms to become hangouts or to be vandalized. A question about the lack of gymnasiums. She said that she found it odd, but maybe that's a Florida thing. Yes. Yes, that is a Florida thing. I don't know if Mo wants to comment on that as it comes to design guidelines, but it's true. We don't typically have gyms in elementary schools. Okay, and we do have a comment from Area Superintendent Cupid McCoy. A recommendation is to have adjoining doors in 4th and 5th grade to help with collaboration. Also secure additional refillable water bottle stations. And that seems like that might tie in with the comment with the bathrooms too, because then if the classrooms are adjoined, maybe the bathrooms could kind of be in a connection or something like that. That's interesting. Okay. Yes, designated from Dr. Castro Dental, in addition to PE and recess areas outside, a designated space for a school garden is key. Okay. Also from Dr. Cupid McCoy, include ID scanners for students and staff to enter classrooms. Okay. So, we're at this point certainly open to comments on, any of the questions, or if you have specific questions for us. We've got a few more minutes before we hit that 7 o'clock point. So if there's anything we didn't ask, or just, questions you have for us, you are welcome to put them in. I am going to put my email address in the chat. Okay. There's a question on when the 30% design meetings will be. I have noted that for sites 47 and 97, we are looking at sometime in the fall. I don't have more specific than that at this point, based on the timeline. But if you got a mailer in the mail, you will get a mailer in the mail for that meeting as well. Another comment on something to be improved: newer elementary design includes a PE pavilion that is too small. Okay, it's just so for anyone who's not familiar with all of our elementary school sites, there is a covered area outdoors for PE to use. We don't have a gym, but we do have that. And the comment is that on more recent designs, that area is too small. Okay, comment from Area Superintendent Bond: have everyone wear IDs, include emergency call systems from every classroom. I am also going to go ahead and drop that link for the survey into the chat one more time, because I know it can kind of sometimes be hard to get it off of the screen. But if you do QR codes, they are there as well. Dave, do you mind just putting up one of the slides with the QR code on it one more time in case anybody wants to take a snip at that? All right, so Board Member Felder had to step off, but I wasn't sure if Dr. Castrodental or Chair Jacobs, did you want to say anything in closing before we close out the meeting? I think I'm not hearing anything, so I think we're good. So I just want to thank everybody for sharing and really thinking about this and what would make our next elementary school even better than the really excellent schools we have already. I'm really excited to see what comes from this. And if you have any additional questions, please message me directly. And if your question is about a specific school site, please do continue to be engaged as we have these additional meetings. And you can reach out to me directly, and I can also connect you with anyone else on the team need be. Sorry, one more comment came in that is related to the design that I do want to catch. It says, don't assume all classrooms will be used for the grade level it was designed for, because with growth, classroom assignments change. I think that's a really good observation. And there is a comment, I just want to let this person know that we see the comment about access points and trying to avoid cutting through adjacent developments only if absolutely necessary, and that residents beyond the school site are concerned about being stuck behind traffic because it's the only way through. So I did just want to kind of read that into the record. And, you know, as part of the design, they will be certainly considering that. So to the gentleman who wants to connect with me afterwards, please email me at lauren.roth@ocps.net, which I dropped into the chat, to send me your email, and I will follow up with you directly. And Dr. Castrodental, I see your comment about getting additional feedback, and let's follow up after the meeting. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.